worth nothing less than 40 million if you've invested 20 million. And you can decide to tell the company, you know what, I don't want to sell, or I want to sell. Okay, Obi, can you help us flip 5 plots out of it? Before you sell 5 plots out of your 20 plots, you've recovered your capital. The rest is what? Profit. You understand? So when people see how we go to grab land in large quantity, they don't know why we do that. You understand? And till today, many of our estates, even when we say sold out, they are not sold out. What we do is we sell, we keep at least 30%. By the time we appreciate, we want that area to hit higher cost. We want some areas today to start selling. In fact, because of the coastal road, all those properties we sold in the Bogu road, there's none of them that will sell for less than 15 to 20 million. Because that is the coastal road. And this was where people bought land for 1 million, 2 million. But today, some of them, we've told them, government are coming, and government is saying, come and perfect. Yeah, government might tell you perfect. It can cost you 5 million, 6 million. If you're smart, you'll perfect. Because immediately you perfect that land you bought for 1 million and you perfect it, you cannot sell for nothing less than 15 to 20 million. And the more you keep it, in fact, in the next 5 years, the most expensive properties will be on the coastal road. On the coastal road, go and check. So how many of us are positioned for that? In fact, if you see Achalon's villa we bought at Eleko, when I bought that land for roughly 15-20 million per plot. But when I go outside my fence and I see that my neighbor is selling 80 million, my other neighbor is selling 75 million, how much do you think I will sell? So imagine that a property I bought for 20 million, less than 2 years, people are already selling for 50-60 million in the same location. And imagine you have 20 plots, 10 plots. So when people are telling you that Nigeria is not good, to us, Nigeria is good. So position yourself so you won't be seeing that Nigeria is not good. Nigeria is good for people that have done what? Position themselves for greatness. So the second stage is for 50 million. So we're looking at those that can do 50 million, and we need minimum of 15 people in that circle, in that group. In Rotary, they call it action group. In some institutions, some people call it a mini club or a cooperative society. Now, in real estate today, even with 400 million in this first stage, it is difficult to do housing projects. It's difficult. In fact, we're currently building a 22-unit service apartment. We started this project when cement was still selling for 2.5, iron was still selling for 250,000 per ton. And this was around 2021, 2022. When cement went up, the same project that was supposed to cost me 300 million is now costing me about 900 million. But the good thing is what? The more as the price are going up, and that was when people bought Hercules for 25 million. While they were buying it, the same property was going for 60 million. In fact, one of the clients that paid me 25 million, it didn't get up to 3 months. The man sold his own unit for 60 million. And that is real estate for you. That is real estate for you. So I will encourage us that we should, no matter how you start, even if it's 1 plot, even if it's 2 plots, key into real estate. You understand? Because everybody is selling real estate. It's either you're paying or you're receiving. You understand? If you're the one paying people because you're renting and you're not developing yourself to become a receiver, you will pay and you only complain of how real estate is very expensive. But if you position yourself to earn from it, you'll be the one telling people that real estate is one of the best business to go into. Now, we know the challenges in the industry. The challenges should not discourage you. In fact, anything that is worth having has its own challenge. Everything that has value has its own challenge. You understand? And one of the challenges is what? Everybody is battling for the land. People want to sell you fake land. People want to sell you land that is government allocation. People want to sell one land to 2-3 people. These things are there. But you shouldn't discourage us, because these days, because of free media and everybody, TikTok, and everybody can go on live. We see everybody making all kinds of statements without even understanding the nature of the business. And if you look at service delivery, there's nobody seated here that somebody servicing you have not offended you. Your tailor has offended you, your house help has offended you, your driver was have offended you. But did you carry camera and go on the internet and start screaming? You understand? It doesn't work that way because every business has its own challenges. But we as investors, we must make sure we avoid mistakes or investing in the wrong environment. Now, for the diamond are people that can invest 100 million and above. In fact, one of my club has decided to take this plot because I told them I will not do a project because this is a big club. So I won't do a project that is below 1 billion. So they said, okay, no problem. We'll look at how we can gather 1 billion while we do a project. Now, it doesn't affect the project we solely own, but this opportunity gives us the opportunity of keying into this project. So tomorrow when you see things like what? Royal Garden, you say, oh, I'm part of the co-owner of Royal Gardens because I co-funded it, and today I have what? Maybe 10 plots, 20 plots. In fact, thank God I mentioned Royal Gardens. How many of us know Royal Garden? Today, how much is a plot there? In fact, yeah, she was trying to sell a land to me there almost 2 years ago for 95 million. Today, somebody called me in Royal Garden. A plot is going for 450 million. In the same estate that they were begging me to buy for 90 million 2 years ago. So you can imagine. Tell me what appreciates like that. From 90 to 450 million. If not real estate. So when I hear this kind of figure, what comes to my mind is what? Imagine times 20. I keep multiplying the
real estate.
Imagine times 20. 450 million times 20 is 9 billion. So when people keep complaining and you see people buying Rolls Royce, you see people buying land in Banana Island, you think it's joke. Some of us that don't understand, they say it's ritual. And that is not ritual. Some of those people there sold. I know a client, is a special client to me. He bought a property in Banana Island. How did he buy that property? He sold some of his apartments. He sold about 4 apartments in Safe Court. At I don't know if you know Safe Court. Salem, yeah. So you find out that people came into bigger projects by selling some of the projects they bought earlier. You understand? So when they flip, what they do is when they flip this property, they buy this expensive property. So nobody kept one money somewhere. Some of them, the man told me, oh, some of the property he used in buying this one was the property he bought from Ekpe, from the one he bought from Lakwe, because he was telling me, he showed me a house he built in Lakwe, he was selling for 650 million. And those were one of the properties he sold to buy a property in Lekki Fiswan. So some of us thinking that you only do real estate when you have enough money and you start from Lekki Fiswan. You don't know that the people in Lekki Fiswan started from mainland. Do you know that many people in Lekki Fiswan came from mainland? Majority of them. Till today, I know more than 50 people in Lekki Fiswan here. Their business is in Alaba, Idumota. They were living in Surulere. They bought properties on the mainland. So those days when they're telling them come to Lekki, the ones that had the boldness came and they bought. The ones that were procrastinating. So imagine what a plot goes for today in Lekki Fiswan. So it is an opportunity for us to step up and know that no matter what we have, our resources put together can do bigger projects. Because I've seen a lot of investors, they say, okay, I have 50, I have 100 million, I don't know what to do with it, I'm eating the money every day, what do I do? And I tell them, co-fund projects. When you co-fund projects, your 100 million can become 500 million within 2 years, within 3 years. And they say, wow, how do I do that? And I tell them, look at some of the acquisition we're trying to do, key into it now. So every day I wake up, my wife will tell me, you can't have BP. I say, why will I have BP? When I have land, I want 500 million, 700 million, 1.2 billion. And you want me to die and leave this property? BP will not come. Because that's encouraging me. So when I calculate, I say, I've been able to acquire property running into tens of billions. And you're telling me to have BP. BP will not work. There's no place, it's in this body, it can't work. You understand? But at the same time, we just say it. We work out, we exercise, we eat right, we avoid unnecessary or healthy attitude or habits that can kill the body. So we encourage you that a healthy body is a successful life. You know, some of us don't know that. You see, when you're healthy, you have 100 problems. But when you're sick, you have one problem. Have you seen a sick man? He will tell you anything you can do, get me well. His bills, his house rent, he doesn't care. What he only cares is what? How do I get well? Same thing with what? Somebody that is in prison. If you're in prison, you will understand your freedom. You see the freedom that brought you here, you're underrating it. Until they lock you up and you can't move. You understand the freedom. So in order to achieve this, we must not take certain things for granted. We must take our good health serious. We must take our sound mind, because we still have sound mind. We mustn't take it for granted. We must build relationships, because iron sharpens iron. And they said it is only a king that can give a king reward. You know, when you need billions, you know what you do? Begin to look for friends in that circle. Because if you're looking for billions and you're chasing keke drivers, I'm not saying they are bad, but the keke driver cannot give you a king reward. A keke driver will not give you billions. Who will give you billions is who has earned billions. Who will give you hundreds of millions and who have earned hundreds of millions. The only thing somebody that doesn't have it will give you is prayer and well wishes. You understand? Because I was telling my friends that there's people that know how to pray very well, people that don't have money. They can pray. And I tell them, this prayer you people used to pour on me, pour it on yourself so you make money. Don't ask me for money and start praying for me. I say pray for yourself so you have money to do what? To give. And the best way to do that is what? You need to be able to acquire wealth. Because you go to places, people give 5 million, 10 million as charity. And some people feel it's a waste. It is because they built wealth, they built income systems that their 10 million they're giving out, to them is like 1,000 naira, or they have an investment that will cover for that. You understand? So these days, when you build so much wealth, when you're going out there and you're saying you're buying a car of 200 million, in your mind, you just be calculating, okay, 10 plots in that side will solve the problem. You understand? You're not thinking of how long you need to work to save the money. You understand? So everybody needs to start building wealth. Everybody needs a network like this. And the good thing is what? We're not asking you for your money. We're only asking you to qualify to be in the group. So once the opportunities, because the opportunities are there every day. Every day as a developer, in fact, every day people bring properties to me. You understand? At times we spend money, verify, and before you know, this property is not good to invest in. So, but all those logistics, all those due diligence, the company will take care of it. We'll be very transparent in our dealing, and this will give you a feel of what it means to be a director in an organization. You understand? A lot of us, we keep wondering. I was reading a MQ Abiola profile, and they said he owns about 88 companies before he died. And somebody is wondering, how did he own 88 companies before he died? It's because he owns major shares in these companies. You understand? He learns how to automate his investment. You mustn't be the driver in every business. When you see a good driver, in fact, most automobile makers are not the best drivers for their vehicles. Because you can make Toyota today, but you're not the best driver of the Toyota. So you can bring a good driver to drive your system. So we need to understand that these are opportunities that are rare. These are opportunities that is only privy to high net individuals. These are information that they come together as friends and they keep as secret. You know, today, many of the things that are secret are no more secret. In fact, we these days are the one bringing out everything. In fact, when we're doing all this, our real estate training online, I know all these other developers, they say, why are you people bringing more people? This real estate is more circulated. Why are you people bringing people? We say that we need more people because we're in the information age. Everybody is online, and we need to be able to assist and empower people. And if you must confess, you find out that real estate has made more people millionaires in the last 20 years. In fact, since this Ibejuleke has transformed a lot of people's life. I know a lot of developers that were walking with their legs. Today, they are driving cars that they never believed they would drive because of real estate. I've seen people that never believed they would succeed, but because of real estate today, they are where they never imagined. And I'm one of that person. I never believed that. In fact, I went into logistics at a very early stage, and I lost all my money. And when I asked myself, where do I start? Because the most important thing is I want to make money. Yes, you see, whether you make money or you lose money, don't lose that urge of wanting to be successful. Because when you have that urge, when you lose money, you don't see it as losing money. You see it as experience. You understand? Because every rich man have lost money. But I know a lot of poor people that never lost a dime. So losing is part of what? Success. Losing is experience. So don't be too emotional about it. You understand? But be careful about it. Because these days, if you lose your capital, now you know that all your friends are waiting for your downfall. You understand? But in real estate, if you lose capital, you gotta sell another land. If I lose capital, I then sell land. That's what happens. If I lose capital, I sell land. But when there's no land to sell, what do? You go back to your village and you see that people are waiting for you to fall. So one of the key ways to save your money, to transfer wealth to the generation of God, is real estate. So I want you to be part of this great opportunity that you're going to be getting information that a lot of people cannot have access to. That's the truth. And my reason for doing this is to expedite our goal. We have a goal of having over 300 estates in Nigeria. And as of today, we are still close to about 20. So we have a long way to go. So what it means is every money I make, I'm putting it back into real estate. Every money I make, I'm putting it back into real estate. I will keep putting it back into real estate. I'll keep putting it back because when you think you stop is where somebody begins. I was listening to Kandon online when I was saying that I want to just build 100 apartments. When Kandon told us that he has more than 6,000 apartments, that was when I said, hey, my dream is small. I went back to the drawing board. I cleaned the 20 I wrote 1,000. Because that thing you were thinking that is big. Some people have achieved it 10 years ago. And what God wants you to achieve today is what people have not achieved. That's the truth. So you don't need to do what? Limit yourself. In fact, I was listening to the pastor I was listening to today. He said there was a man of God he met in his 80s. He has built ministry all over, grew church. He has built over 40,000. He has trained more than 40,000 ministers. That at 80 years, God told him to go and open 50 new churches across the world. And this guy came to Africa. In South Sudan, he opened 3 new churches. So the person saying this was a Nigerian pastor. He said, number one, how many Nigerian pastors will go to Sudan and open church? And secondly, how many man will be in his 80 and his goal is to go and be opening 80 new churches? So you find out that when you stop is the beginning of some people's greatness. So don't stop. Continue to dream big. Continue to keep the vision focused. Continue to look for partnership that will take you there. Because if you're thinking that you get there on your own, you're a failure. Because you need your company to be on point. And I want to use the opportunity to appreciate our staffs and our consultants. In fact, every day I see my realtors, I said, these are the reason for my success. You understand? Because it takes a lot of people that you're not paying salary to commit to your brand, to promote your products, to continue to grow the company to help you achieve the goal. So I want to say thank you to you guys. You are awesome. Some of them have done over 500 million. So every day when I wake up, I say, God, pray my rentals. All those ones that bring 500 million. God, give me like 100 of them. You see the kind of prayer. So I did like 500 of you people. You understand? That's our result driven. You understand? And what it means is when you help people achieve greatness, they will also help you achieve your own.
Of course, yes.
That's the truth.
True.
There is no way you help somebody grow and the person will not help you grow. So, how many people are you helping grow? I've always been, where I worked before I started RealtyPros, in 2.5 years, I was already doing sales, 3.something billion. So, everywhere I see my MD, say, this is the man that helped me make money. So, every day I keep praying, I say, God, give me my kind of person. When I meet people like Madam Mercy, I say, God, give me like 50 of Madam Mercy. Give me like 100 of Anne, 200 of Gladys, 1,000 of blessing. Imagine around 1,000 of blessing, I'll wear blessed. So at the end of the day, all these projects, the rentals and the agents to sell them are available. We are looking for new innovative projects to sell. And at the end of the day, people have the money to buy. People want to buy. And one thing about selling is what? Anything you put on the shelf, people will buy. In fact, growing up, there was one sad story. In fact, it was a motivational story. And I was sharing it with in my class yesterday. And I told them why I believe so much in sales was, when we were growing up, things were very difficult. And we usually,
My auntie had a restaurant, so we usually go there to pack the head of fish. You know, in restaurant they don't cook the head of fish. They used to, it seems they throw it away. So we used to go and pack it. So when we pack them, we'll eat some, we'll fry it, we'll put a tray outside our house, and people were buying it. So I told my mom that if you can be selling a fish head and people are buying, it means there's money in sales and you can sell anything. So when I see people struggling and complaining, I tell them, go and wash car, go and do bricklayer. Today, a Mensa earns about 7,000 to 10,000 naira on a daily basis. That's means if you work for a month as a Mensa, you will make over 300,000. And you still see some people telling you that there's no job in Nigeria. Every day, if you go online, every company is looking for sales representatives. Every company, there is no way you walk into my company today and tell me, sir, I can sell your properties, employ me, I will employ you. It is because a lot of people are looking for jobs that they won't do anything. They just want to come to the office and sleep, and at the end of the month they earn salary. But if you're driven and you know that you want to make money, go out there, you see something that always impacting you. If it's sales you want to do, people will employ you. If you're good at social media, people will employ you. If you're good at marketing, people will employ you. If you're anything you find, you lay your hand on, be very excellent in it. And while you're excellent in it, build good attitude. Because attitude is the only thing that will sustain you. I've seen great people that do very well, but today they are not well because they are liars, they are dupes, and all kind of stuff. Do you understand? And one of the things that have been a blessing to us is what? We never eat our consultants' commission. If you say we must pay you. But I know companies that they will seize your commission. So if you want to grow, be as sincere. Be straightforward, because most people out there with the billions, what they want to do is what? Look for people that they can trust. In fact, the problem we're having these days from investors abroad is how to move bulk money. So it's not that the money is not there, but how to move them. You understand? So it's even difficult to bring bulk money from abroad into Nigeria than taking the bulk money out of Nigeria. So I was discussing with the government official, I said, why is it that difficult that Nigeria is doing things the other way? Why abroad, you can bring any amount of money in, but you can't take any amount out. But yeah, you can take any amount out, but you can't bring any amount in. So it's a double-edged sword. So until you find yourself in a situation like this, you will now understand where we need to start making reforms, where we need to start pushing for advancement and development towards what we want to achieve. Now, there are wonderful opportunities in why you need to invest in real estate. And some of them are what? Steady cash flow. You understand? You earn consistently through maybe rent, if you sell, high appreciation and all that. Secondly is what? Appreciation over time. You understand? Your 10 million today will worth 100 million tomorrow. But have you started investing? Very important. It's edge against inflation. So like I said in the past, I said a project that should cost us 300 million is costing us 900 million because of what? Inflation. But because of his real estate, those apartments now, I'm still going to make my profit even more, because the more the inflation, the more the higher the money. I want to increase my money. And that is how rent is increasing everywhere across Nigeria, because once it costs me more money to develop, I will have to put those into the cost of developing that property. Also, leverage on opportunity. Real estate allows you to buy more with less by using other people's money. Bank loans, a small down payment can control large assets. And that is why I give it to the developers or the landowners in the West. I went to the East to buy property. What my eyes see in the East, if that thing is in Lagos here, many of us will not have properties. You understand? So, with real estate, you can see a property of 1 billion, with down payment of 100 million, 200 million, you can key into those projects. But it's a big challenge for us in the East. Because in the East, if you're buying a property of 1 billion, the Igbo man will tell you, okay, go and bring the 1 billion cash. You see where the problem is. So, and at the end of the day, you might still fall into problems. So most times when we spread payment is to do what? Manage risk, to understand the dynamics, to understand if you're dealing with the right people. Because in real estate, if you buy from the right family, but not from the right person, it's a problem. Just like I'm the first son of my father.
You now come to buy my family land and my younger brother, you've lost your money. You understand what I mean? So who you buy from, he might tell you this is our family land. Good. But do you have the right to sell? It's a different question. And in most places, you might not even know that you're being spoken to by the younger brother or the last born in the family. So these are some of the challenges we face. But with the experience these days, we don't just take their words. When they tell us, we go behind the scene and we do our investigation. It's also a tangible asset and controlled, unlike stock and crypto. Real estate is physical asset. You can see, you can manage, you understand? You can improve, you can have rental incomes. It also builds long-term wealth. You see, money in real estate is the longer you hold the property. You see, the longer you hold the property, the better for you and that property. So today, many of us that have experienced, in fact, I went to Agor last 2 weeks. So I saw a property in Agor, Greenfield Estate, and I said I wanted to buy the property. They were telling me 120 million. I said, Agor is selling for 120 million. Okay, as I got into 120 million, Madam Uche, Agor, 120 million. So I was even surprised. These were places they were begging us for 5 million, 7 million, 10 million. So imagine if we have bought a lot of properties there. Imagine what it would have been today. So it gives that a lot. Portfolio diversification. So you have the opportunity of going into land, apartments, buildings, shopping malls, you understand, and all that. You have opportunity of equity building up over time. As a down payment to your mortgage, you build equity and assets you can borrow against or use to fund other projects. Like today, even with real assets, people are willing to give you loan. Banks are willing to deal with you. In fact, with your title document today, the banks can deal with you and give you loan. So it also gives you opportunity to what? Multiple income stream. You can be able to do short lets, co-working space, storage. In fact, a friend of mine, couple of our properties, in fact, the meeting I was having today, I said, I have too many properties that is laying fallow. So some of them were looking at, rather than leave it that way, why don't we go into agriculture? Why don't we go into warehousing? Why don't we go into projects that you can easily remove and sell? You understand? So today, some of these properties, we lease them out and say, okay, farmers, you can farm and pay us. You understand? So instead of your property should just lay fallow. Retirement security. You see, this is what they used to call you ritualists when you're getting old. In fact, one of my uncle in Surulere, may so rest in peace, died this year. Around 2 years ago, he came to Lekki County and bought 3 houses, duplexes, 3. In fact, that is the building you see on your right before you enter Mega Mall. The 3 duplexes that looks alike is owned by my uncle. And when he bought the property, he was already struggling. So everybody was like, this guy is broke, he's down. So in his 60s, this guy sold his property in Ijesha, facing Express, in Ijesha Express. And he sold that property for almost 600 million. So imagine when your enemy is saying that your downfall has come and he collected 600 million. The guy, everybody, people that don't understand was like, where did this guy want to do ritual? It is only real estate money that looks like ritual money. Especially when you flip all kind of bill deals. Imagine closing a deal of 1 billion, 1.5 billion. All your village people will think you've gone to do rituals. So real estate is something that makes you, at your old age, you're still balling. You're still living the kind of lifestyle you want to live. It's also a legacy, legacy and inheritance value. So if you're looking for something you want to hand over to your children unborn, real estate is one of the key ones. You want to continue? Improve credit profile. Real estate can do that. In fact, why do you think GT is one of the most successful banks in Nigeria today? Anybody? What? No. In fact, today the banks are rich because of the number of assets they have. It is those buildings you see. When you see Zenith Bank has a whole street in Lekki, in VI, do you think it's joke? Those are the assets they value. That is why there was a time they gave an instruction and they said banks shouldn't be renting properties to run their banking system. They should own it. Access Bank, when Access Bank merged with Diamond Bank, they became one of the richest banks because of assets. So by the time they check the assets of the bank, they'll tell you, oh, this bank has 200 branches. 200 branches means they own the structure. So if that structure is worth 100 million times 200, those are the values they see. So putting your money in real estate gives you this leverage for you to benefit from. Property improvement increases value. Protection from market volatility, community and economic impact. Real estate does that for you, and access to passive income with minimal daily effort. So as a company, we've created that system to guide you. We'll take care of what? The due diligence, the acquisition, we'll take care of what? The development, we'll take care of the management of the property. All you need to do is what? Relax as owner. And in two ways we can achieve this. Is either we co-own title, or we have an MOU with the company and they fund the company to take care of full responsibilities. So we are running both. We have companies, we've done special purpose vehicles because of title perfection, and we have companies that have told us, you know what, do it what you want to do. All we want is give us these properties. After 1 or 2 years, help us flip them. And you know the good thing, I buy too. So even if you want to flip and I'm in a good mood, I can buy them. You understand? Because me, I have waiting power. And I thank God I came in early into the business. So I have a long way to go. So we are ready to also buy in the process. And in order to make this very interesting, we're going to be having directors meetings at quarterly basis to show you what we've achieved, where we're heading to, how the project is doing, and how your investment are being safe. But one thing I guarantee you is that your investment is secured. We're going to be insuring your investment. You understand? So you know that whatever we say we're going to do is what we will do. You understand? So we want to use this to build a pool of investors, because when we need more investors, more capital projects. Because me too, I want to build high-rise. In fact, they came to market land for me in the Eco Atlantic. You know, they sell there in dollars. And when they do the mathematics, I say, for you to build 10 billion, for you to build a property of 10 billion, you need off-takers, you need partners. And it is when you do small, you build confidence, you start doing greater things. You understand? So start as a baby step. Your 20 million today can become 100 million tomorrow. Your 100 million can become 500 million. Your 500 million can become 1 billion. But if you want to play the big game without stress in the future, real estate is that industry for you. So I will give few minutes for question and answer, because I know time is already going for us to have our dinner, and then we'll take it off from there. Thank you.
Thank you very much.